And welcome back to Improv Kitchen. Today I'm going to be doing some schnitzel for you. I've been doing a lot of pork stuff lately, so I figured we'd mix it up with some chicken. First thing you're going to do is grab your pork cutlets. In the bag that you have put them in their natural habitat, resting in buttermilk for 2 days, you will then grab your pork cutlets from the bag and put it on a piece of plastic wrap on top of a piece of paper. This is going to allow you to sufficiently tenderize your pork steak further. Basically, or pork chop, I guess you'd call it. I'm going to call it a pork steak. Anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to wrap it up nice and neat because you want to tenderize it a little bit further. The buttermilk already did a bunch of that for you. It is a probiotic brine, actually. A lot of people might not know that, so there's a little information for you today. You're going to first start off by figuring out that you can drum on it because you don't have a meat tenderizing mallet. And this is not working at all, but I did this for the drummers out there in the audience who would appreciate it. So now you're going to go back to straight up just beating the meat. Now, I know I just said that, and I'm not going to take it back. That's what you're doing here. You're pounding this thing in until it's tenderized. But then you realize it said something about your mother. And then we move on to the next station, which is breading with Birch Bender's pancake batter, which is fairly useful. I've been using it in pretty much every one of my recipes lately. So you take a cup of it and put it on the plate. So 1 cup equals about 30 carbohydrates, and that means the 5 steaks that I was able to make were only 30 carbs total, and that's, not to mention the fact that there's net carbs for anybody who's counting their net carbs. But anyways, nobody cares about that. So let's get this going again, because all I'm trying to do is make this for taste, not really trying to just be like, oh, it's keto, it's going to be healthy. This is literally the healthiest version of a schnitzel that you'll probably ever see. This is the healthiest schnitzel you'll ever see. That's right. So you put it in the egg wash after you have battered it sufficiently. You want to make sure it's nice and covered all the way around. And it's really important that you actually do tenderize and pound this in, because if you don't, it's going to be a lot harder to flip it and get all the goodies on there. So next, you're going to be using pork panko. I got this from Amazon, I guess. You can probably find it in stores, but it's literally just pork rinds that have been turned into dust. You can make them yourself by putting pork rinds in a blender, or doing the same thing that I did with the pork in the plastic wrap and just beat the crap out of it. The difference is you will probably bloody your knuckles, because when you do that, you are punching tiny pig shards. So that was supposed to be a thumbs up. Next, you're going to throw in an obelisk of butter into your pan and start melting that. And then you're going to flip this to single to let it know that you are ready to mingle. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time, but once it does, it's time. And you're going to take your big old pork cutlet and put it all up in that business. All right, that's good. Now, it's going to be cooking for a little bit, so after it's cooked for a little while, you're going to accidentally take pictures of your feet for a second, and then flip it and look at the bottom, and it looks like it's nice and golden brown. So you're going to flip this, but you need 2 hands. And look at that jump cut. You couldn't even tell, but I flipped it over. And changed angles by like 3 inches. So after you've done that, you'll be flipping it over and cooking it on the other side. When you're done, obviously, you want to plate it up nice and fancily. When you've done that, you slice into it, showing how nice the insides look, completely cooked, and the buttermilk has completely made this the tenderest, juiciest, whatever I've ever eaten in my life. This is probably the best thing I've ever made, and I made it all improv style. I literally didn't know what to do, and I just kind of did it. And here is an upside down shot of me throwing it in to my pressure cooker. I have salad shooter mouth, that is my air fryer, because I wanted to see how it would go. I covered it in some Pam, and then I threw it in there for about 20 minutes. And don't touch with your hands. So how did this one come out? Not as good, yeah, but it was sufficiently a pork chop. So as you can see here, I am chopping into the middle of it to get all the crispy goodness because everything else fell off. It is clearly super duper tender, and it came out, not gonna lie, pretty dang good. It still tasted great. Just looks like crap. So maybe next time I will be a little bit more careful with that. And also I didn't pound this one out. This meat I did not pound out. So you should do that. Make sure you flatten that thing because it's important. And yeah, it was a success. Now, you don't want to forget the most important part of making your food, which is cleaning. I do this now, and I learned it from people's that I need to clean as I go. Now, I did wait until after this to do this video, but I was cleaning as I went. This video is just to show you, hey, I'm cleaning up my show. We clean up after ourselves because, you know, we got all sorts of things that we got to do in life, and being responsible is one of them. So here's a picture and a video of me just cleaning off my knives and some bowls and making sure that everything's all fine and dandy because you don't want to get yelled at. So just keep on cleaning as you go. Thanks for playing, everybody. This is a ridiculous video, and it's much longer than anything I've ever made before, so I hope that you enjoy, and like, subscribe, and if you could share and let people know what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to make some foods for everybody to show them that it is not boring to do keto shit, and I would say, you know, send them my way because I'm going to keep making these videos. I've got some ideas in the future, and yeah, it'll be sweet. I got all sorts of stuff going on. So send people my way. Thanks for playing. Have a good one. See you on the next one.